This is Eat, Sleep, Invest, the marketing podcast for real estate investors to get more deals. Hey, welcome to another episode of Eat, Sleep, and Invest. I'm your host, Brian Driscoll. I have Matt Kamp here from Deal Machine. And as you know, we try to keep our podcast like not super long, but we want to keep it info-packed and give you guys real value. So I'm going to let Matt hop in and give an introduction on a little background on himself.
Yeah, for sure. And Brian, again, excited to be on. Thanks for having me. Always love to speak to your audience because I know, they're listening to this. They're ready to invest in themselves, take action, get out there, make things happen. Start to land deals. Just a little bit about us. As a company, Deal Machine. We've been around for 4 or 5 years now. We've had over 300,000 real estate investors download the Deal Machine app. Happy to share many lessons learned from them over the years, and really, the genesis of the app was, David Lecko, our CEO. He was a brand new real estate investor back in 2016-17 in the Indianapolis market, and he was trying to go out to find his first deal. And he would network with his local RIA group. He'd have a lot of local friends say, "Hey, you should try this driving for dollars thing. This has been around forever, and it does. It works. This is where most newbies get their first deal." And he went out there, started to drive around his neighborhood, look for fixer-upper properties, and realized, man, I'm landing deals like this. Like, he built a portfolio of over 10 properties currently. But as he was doing that, he's like, man, this process is brutal. Like, you have to write down the address, you have to go look up information about the owners, figure out what's wrong with the property, create a mailer or figure out a way to get in touch with them. Just going through the whole thing just took forever. So he started to make, he had a technology background, started to, make different ways to automate that process, to look up that data, to send those mailers. And, Deal Machine was born. We're an app to help real estate investors find off-market deals by driving for dollars, building that list, and then reaching out to property owners through mail and through skip tracing.
Yeah, Matt, that's crazy too, because everyone always told me, which I'm in this space too, like I'm an investor and marketer.
Yeah.
Everyone's always like, hey, you should driving for dollars. And I always thought, like, who would want to do that? I'm not going to drive around, write down all these names, then go look on, like, I'm in Allegheny County, like manually look everything up and try to mail them. I'm like, that's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
So whenever I saw this, I'm like, geez, man, this is freaking easy. Like, I got to pass this along to you guys. So
that's awesome.
So you guys have an app and also on the website. So let's first talk about, like, I'm driving down the road. I see a house. It's got like long grass and it's just beat up. Like what happens? Like, what can you do?
Yeah. So we're a mobile app first, especially for our driving for dollars portion. We do have a list builder option as well. And that's primarily focused on web, the web app, dealmachine.com. But if you're on the mobile, you're driving around, like you said, you see a beat up property, you open up the Deal Machine app, it locks on to your location. So you can enable that to be able to lock on and follow your car, wherever you're based out of. You'll see black dots pop up all around you of different properties of just literally the houses around you that you can see. And then you look at that address, tap that on Deal Machine app, a property card will automatically pop up, or it'll say, is this absentee owned? Is this vacant? Is the, what's the equity of this, house? Like, it'll give you a ton of really hyper targeted data about that owner. And then on that spot, if you say, yeah, this is a qualified lead, you just tap add lead, it goes into your list of leads. And then from there, you've got really kind of 2 main options to be able to reach out directly to that seller. You can either, send them a postcard, like you talked about, where you can just, hit send and really set it and forget it on that. Like, you can say, hey, send them a postcard, once a month or once every couple of weeks or however often. You can customize the template. We give you over 10 templates to begin with that are all tested and successful templates. So you can use those, or you can customize the template according to how you want to reach out to them. And then when you set it and forget it, you can automatically just in the background every so often send them a postcard. So that way you're staying top of mind with that seller, because in the end, it's a timing game. It's about being the one that they think of first whenever they are in a situation where they're saying, hey, I'm ready to sell now. And, they might be ready today. They might be ready in 3 months, 6 months. We have Deal Machine members where it's literally over a year later, they're getting deals because they're nurturing those leads by staying top of mind. But you can do that all at the click of a button through our mail option. And then option number 2 is our skip tracing, which a skip trace pings the database, brings back any email and phone number records right there, back into the Deal Machine app. And it'll tell you is this a do not call list? Is it disconnected? Is it landline mobile? What's the caller ID? It'll give you a ton of data around that phone number. You can call that on the spot and do that combination of that quick outreach as well as the long-term nurture. And those two things together are what our most successful Deal Machine members are doing to get direct to seller.
Yeah. So that's pretty sweet, because even guys just starting out, or even guys that are seasoned, like anyone can use this. Cause I know I'm driving down the road sometimes, I'm like, man, I wonder who owns that freaking place. There's one house I've been looking at for like 6 years. Like I just keep driving by and I'm like, I'm going to look that up sometime and send him a mail. I just never do.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is like we just had a guy, Ramen, he's in the Atlanta market. We gave him a 7-day free trial. His first 7 days, he landed a $50K wholesale deal doing exactly what you're saying. Like he is out there. He was on his way to getting a haircut. He saw a vacant property that he's, been wondering about for years, looked him up, found him where, the owner ID, skip traced it, give it a call, and he landed a deal within that first week. And again, that's not everybody's going to be able to do that. Like he's out there, he's hustling, he's doing this, he's making things happen and actually, creating that list and reaching out to them. But we have plenty of case studies that we can share like that, where it's people getting out there and it's like you said, they're training themselves to look for these properties, and on the go, they're able to land their next deal.
Yeah. And you know what, guys, too, I meant to bring up earlier also, Matt's hooking us up. Anyone who wants to try it out, he's giving you 50 free mailers or 200 skip traces. So we'll put a link below that you can just click through and try it out for yourself. Like see what you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just want to make it as easy as possible, as low barrier as possible for people to get out there and start to build momentum. And if you really invest in yourself and take action on this, it's going to be a very exciting process. And again, I'm here as well. Feel free to reach out directly to me, Matt@dealmachine.com. I support you and make sure that you're as successful as possible too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, okay. So we got the mailers that like you can go around driving around, pick a la carte houses. And one thing that's really cool about that too is like, I can send one piece of mail for like 50 cents, whatever it is. It's cheap versus having to send like a compile a list and send them all at once. But then also you were talking about lists too, which I was messing around, which I'll let you elaborate on. But I was running a list in just my zip code, and I was able to pull up all the vacant houses. I can pull up, I think it was non-owner occupied and pre-foreclosures, like different lists, and then kind of look through them, see if I want to skip trace them. It was giving me things like, hey, here's a projected value, or like what the estimated value of the property is. And then also equity, which I'm guessing is pulling from like how long they've owned it. So if you can go into the list side too, because a lot of guys like to send mailers out like in the bulk to their area, not just a la carte.
Yep, for sure. And we made two different options because, some people it's about money over time. And, especially for the newbies, like the driving for dollars option, they're getting out there and it's going to take some sweat equity. It's going to take you getting out there and finding those properties, or you hiring a driver to go out and do that for you and build that original targeted list that no one else has, and then reach out to people that way. So that's kind of one option. And then what you're alluding to there is the list builder side. That's really kind of, it's going to be more expensive because you're going to be needing to market to more people. The leads that you pull are going to be a little more competitive because anybody can pull, it's easier to pull a list than to find your own, leads like that by driving around. Right. But on the list builder side, you can get really, really specific and targeted using data and say like, hey, yeah, show me, all the high equity homes that haven't sold in over, 20 years. And, you can get really, really specific on this particular block or this area that, that you can find that you are comfortable investing in. I would say, especially for a more advanced investor, they go that list builder route to be able to go out there and bulk pull a list like that. And then you're one click away from bulk sending a mail, mail piece, or bulk doing a skip trace. And that way you can, call, email, text, all those numbers right away, as well as put them on those mail campaigns and start to do your outreach at scale. Yeah.
And that's really cool. And then I was talking with Matt, and I got starting to think, I'm like, okay, because we do digital marketing. I'm like, how about if we get someone that comes in online, we call them, text them, all that kind of stuff. But what if we had a way to automate mailers going to those people only? So it's like, okay, you get 20 leads in a month, 30 leads in a month, 50, whatever it is. Instead of handwriting them letters, if you chose to do that, we can just push those over into Deal Machine, like on a monthly basis, just export. Like if you're using Curate, I know a lot of guys use Curate. You just go in and you export your addresses, upload them into Deal Machine. You just created a list, boom, they're done. And you can do things like that also. What do you think on that, Matt?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we team up with Curate a ton. I mean, we definitely preach the message of saying, hey, people are going to respond differently to different marketing methods. So the broader the marketing mix you can do, the more effective you're going to be. Our most successful Deal Machine members, they are doing a combination of the short-term outreach, skip trace and call, text, email, door knock, leave a flyer, things like that, where it's really quick response loop of knowing if they're interested or not. And then they're doing a combination of that with long-term nurture, with mailers, with sending out, automatically sending that and staying top of mind. And if you can mix in a digital marketing strategy as well, that's going to make all that even more effective. Where if they go online, they see your ad online, they go find their way to your website online, or if they receive a mailer from you, probably the first thing they're going to do is Google who you are and Google, look up your website and all of that. So they really, the offline and online marketing together are an incredibly powerful combination. We team up with Curate often to talk about that and say like, hey, here's why you need to be doing both. Here's how they help each other. I think the online marketing as well is a great long-term strategy when it comes to things like, search engine optimization and becoming, generating traffic over the long term of people to your website. So I think, hey, the combination of those two things are a super powerful strategy to be thinking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like the omnipresence everyone's always talking about. Because
Yep.
if you think about who we're trying to get a hold of, so we get a Facebook lead. Someone clicks an ad from Facebook, comes to our website, fills it out, and they're done. We're retargeting them, but they get nothing else other than phone calls and text. But think about this. What if they actually go to mailer also? Then it's that extra step. Because some of the people, they just don't answer. Some people answer to text. Some people answer to email. Some people answer to phone calls. So it depends on each person is different. But then think about this also. Say you're hitting up that vacant list in your area. You send a mailer out. They come check your website out. Now you're living in their Facebook feed because you're retargeting them. So you're building that like know, and trust type of thing there, all that credibility. Same with Google pay-per-click, like they all kind of work together. So the more things you can do to be in your neighborhood, in your areas you're targeting and be credible, just add it on. Plus, if you're getting like 50 leads a month, I mean, it's only like 25 or $30 to send those mailers. It's so cheap.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I mean, and I think, like you said, the key there is to be able to be omnipresent. So that way, whether you're online, you're offline, they're feeding each other. You're looking extremely credible. You're looking like someone that they can trust and they can trust with a transaction like this. So yeah, I highly recommend combining that offline marketing with that online marketing. We actually have a whole series on our YouTube channel. If you just look up Deal Machine on YouTube, of that, that idea of combining offline with online marketing, a lot of it featuring Curate. So if you're using Curate already, if you're thinking about it, definitely check those out, and it gives you a playbook on how we can help each other.
Yeah, that's cool. And guys too, if you don't have a Curate website, that's fine too. Like all they need is what is it? You just have to get the CSV file, right?
Yeah, I mean, regardless, on the Deal Machine side, you can take those leads and you can import a CSV file, so just an Excel file right into Deal Machine. And within Deal Machine, again, the goal is to build a list and then market to that list. And when you build that list, you drive for dollars, you can pull a list, you can import a list like that. And when you import that list, we have a leads view, which essentially is kind of a CRM in a way, where you can look at that, you can figure out, hey, what is the stage each of these leads are at? Do they have marketing to them? You can take notes there. You can assign yourself tasks there. So you can use this as kind of a way to work those leads, work your pipeline, and then, market to those leads, like you said, through the skip trace. And you can do that in bulk really quick and easy, or you can send mailers in bulk really quick and easy right there, and customize both of the, your mail campaign and, have be firing on all cylinders there.
Yeah. So that's really cool stuff there. What else do you think, Matt? What else is important to everyone would like to know?
I think the biggest mistakes that we ever see is just, in the end, like, it's a numbers game. You got to be thinking about, hey, there's a funnel where, you're building a list of leads, you're reaching out to those leads, you're getting a call back, or you're actually having a conversation, you're getting to an offer, you're getting to a contract, you're getting to a close. And going through that entire funnel, you got to make sure that you fill the top of that funnel with enough leads that by the time you get to the bottom, you're going to be building on that number, and you're going to see, you're going to be able to create a predictable, scalable model that way. And where we see people really falling off is if they get out there, they drive around, they add, 20, 50 houses to their list, they reach out one time and, oh, it didn't work. This must not work. Well, this is a strategy that's been around for decades. Many investors before you have done it. The goal here is, okay, let's go into it with the right mindset. Let's set the realistic goals of wanting to, for example, most people, they land their first deal after adding a couple, usually 300-400 leads within Deal Machine. So come into it thinking like that. Come into it thinking, hey, if I'm adding, 40 leads an hour, then I know I need to drive around for, 9-10 hours, and make sure you set that goal, do that, and then have multiple touch points with them. Try to skip trace and call those people, or text or email. Try to send those mailers and stay top of mind. And as you do that, as you think that way, and when you land that first deal, you can look back and see, here are the benchmarks that I hit to be able to get to that first deal. And do that, if you do that over and over again, and you actually set up the right actions, follow through, be consistent, and continue to experiment with what works, that is a long-term strategy for success. So we do have plenty of people like Ramen, like I said, who reach out, and it's the third, fourth house and they reach out to and they land a deal. We had another guy, Quentin Flores, he was on our YouTube channel. Literally the fourth house he called, we were filming live. He lands a contract right there. So it can very much happen. It can, but what you want to do is to be able to think more like a marketer, think like think with that long-term funnel in mind, and set goals to be able to fill those leads, whether it's you or you hiring a driver, you hiring a, Uber driver, Lyft driver, Instacart, a friend, whoever, to get out there and drive for you and add those leads. However, you're getting those qualified leads in the Deal Machine app. Just make sure you're doing it in a way that you're setting yourself up for long-term success.
Yeah, Matt. So on the drips, like follow-up drips, what do you guys recommend? Shooting them a mailer like every 90 days, 60 days, 30 days? Like what have you guys seen successful?
Yeah, we typically see 3 to 4 weeks is a good touch point cadence for people. That's enough to really keep you top of mind. I know Ryan Haywood, for example, he's another one that he's landed literally over 100 deals using Deal Machine this year. So he is out there. He's got a full-time driver, and he has a team of, I think, counting himself and his wife, 5 people full-time, acquisitions manager, transactions coordinator. He's got a full team working on this. But what they're doing is they're getting out there, and he calls it like his atomic mailer strategy, where he'll send 4 mailers at once, different types of mail. It'll be like handwritten, this template, that template, various different types, just to get on their radar right away, and then follow that up with a consistent nurture. And that's what he has found works for him, is because you get on their radar right away, and then you're staying on their radar over time. You're staying top of mind. So over anything, it's number of leads and it's consistency of touch points. Again, we recommend every 3 or 4 weeks is ideal for sending mailers, but we've seen people be successful in a couple different ways.
That's cool. So you're saying he sends out 4 mailers like on day one,
Bam,
4 different mailers that all look different. That's pretty cool.
And they all look different. One of them's going to stand out, or multiple. And they're like, man, this guy really wants to get in touch with me. So his response rate is crazy high.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I never thought about it. That's a good idea. How long do you see? What do you guys recommend? How long to mail people? Like say I put a list together today. I'm sending them every 21 days.
How long?
Like how long do you think?
Ideally, we're seeing people 6 to 12 months is pretty just a good thing to aim for. Again, if you get a response, you can quickly turn off that mailer really easily. Or if whether you win or lose the deal. But I think aiming for and budgeting for like that 6 to 12 month horizon of, once every 3 or 4 weeks, send them a mailer. That's going to put you in an optimal opportunity to be the one that when they are ready to sell, and, because you have verified the physical look of the property, if you drove for dollars, you have a higher likelihood of them wanting to sell. It gives you the best chance of being the one that they reach out to for that call. And you're the postcard, on their fridge or on the top of their mail pile, or, they saved your number in their phone. You're the one that they think of right away because you've been staying top of mind that way. Again, if you go the list builder route, you can pull that list in mail, but you're going to be aiming for more leads than the couple hundred. You're going to be doing that in bulk if you really want to consistently land those deals. But again, the goal here is no matter what, just get out there, add those leads, consistently stay top of mind with people. And then over time, you're going to learn what's working in your market and how many leads it's going to take to consistently get deals like that.
Yeah. And that's a good thing, just getting out there, because I see a lot of guys that get held up whenever they're just starting into business. They want to get out there. They keep analyzing everything. It's like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I think I call it paralysis by analysis. So with what you guys are doing, it's very low risk. Just because, like, say I even wanted to mail someone, you're saying mail them for 6 months. So that's 6 mailers. Average mailer is what, like 50 cents?
Mm-hmm. 55. Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking $3, $3.50 total to hit that person for 6 months. So even if you're driving around, you start with 50 people, 100 people, things like that. It's not like you got to go spend a couple $1,000s to get started. You can get started with, well, actually you can get started for free because you're giving us free 50 mailers. But after that, it's still very affordable. It's not like it's like a super high thing. And then you just scale. Like once you get your first deal, take the money and reinvest it. And
exactly. I was going to say you land one deal and that's going to pay for the whole year, So it's like, right. Let's get you out there. Let's get you, starting to send those mailers, start to skip trace, do the 7-day free trial to be able to make that all extremely low risk. And then again, we're here to support you. Our whole team, we have a community of over 10,000 investors on Facebook that we'll invite you to. You can network with people there, ask them questions, find a mentor. You can use our team to be able to teach you the pro tips on using Deal Machine. And then our YouTube channel, we're putting out a ton of educational content there as well. So all these different resources are here to help set you up to succeed.
That's cool. Yeah. So I think that covers it. Is there anything we missed?
No, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, anybody who watches this and land, when they land that first deal, reach out to me. We love to make you the next one on our YouTube channel that we're featuring here. So it's like, hey, if you want to build your brand in your local market as an investor, we can give you some FaceTime too. Again, we've had, over 130 of those videos so far. So it's always my favorite to see those because we're showing like, hey, here's how we're helping real people, a lot of them changing their lives, changing their careers by, landing deals and getting into real estate. So would love for you to be the next one.
Yeah. And that's really cool too, especially like that low entry point. Like you can actually make an impact and get out and get in this business without spending all the cash. Like it's like, you can do it today. Like it's literally do it today. You hop in your car, go find a couple places, boom, you press a button, you have their phone number, you shot them a piece of mail, and then you just keep doing it and you keep failing. A lot of times it's not going to work, but keep doing it and you will get deals if you do it consistently.
Love it. Yeah.
Cool, Matt. Well, how can I get a hold of you? Like give us your info. Yeah.
So definitely if you're going to take action on this, again, Bryan's going to have that link there with their promo code. Make sure to go through that to get that special deal of the 50 plus free mailers, 200 plus free skip traces. If you want to reach out to me direct, it's just matt@dealmachine.com for my email. Again, we've got our YouTube channel, our Facebook group. So all that stuff, we're here to help. Even our support team, our average response time is under 4 minutes. So they're there ready to jump in and help out no matter what you need with the app too. So we want to set you up for success. So excited to have you invest in yourself, get out there, take action, and happy deal finding.
Yeah, cool, man. And then to confirm, your website's dealmachine.com.
Yes.
But if you guys do sign up, use the code to get the extra mailers, things like that.
Yeah.
But check them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's testimonials on their website, the YouTube. It's just a cool organization. So
yeah, appreciate you having me on, Bryan.
All right, man. Hey, well, until next time, it's a great day to have a great day. We'll talk to you guys.